Hello everyone and welcome to this week's lecture. So we're going to get started with chapter 1, and if you remember from the first video that you watched, we are going to go to week 2 for chapter 1, your readings, your homework, your exam. So let's go right into our guided 1 project. By the way, how I show you how to complete this project, the guided project, I'm going to guide you through this. The 2 independent projects that you will be completing independently are set up the exact same way. So when we go through the rest of the semester and you're completing all these, the homework assignments, they're all set up the exact same. So you shouldn't have any problems, but I will be around should you have questions. So go ahead and click on the guided. There's a couple of things here. One, I want to draw your eyes down to the bottom here first. I have completed this 1 time. Yeah, I got 100, but if I hadn't have gotten 100, I'm able to complete this again because I've given everyone 3 attempts on their homework. So this is attempt 1. I'm going to do attempt 2. After you've exhausted all 3 attempts, it will disappear and you're not going to be able to go back to this. But I've given everyone 3 attempts to score 100%. And don't forget, I've given you 2 attempts on your chapter exams as well. The first thing you're always are going to need to do and want to do is to download the instructions. Those download as a PDF. Personally, I love to print mine so that I can go through them and take notes and then keep them. You don't have to do that. You could just, if you had 2 monitors like I do, you could just take it and then move it over, or you could minimize it as well and leave it up on the screen. You will always want to do this next step. And if you ever, and that is if you see the word resources, those are files that have to be saved first before you actually start. So in this case, we do have resources. So we are going to click on that live link, and it's going to be a zip file. Once that pops up, you need to just double click, and you're going to notice that we have a picture that's saved as JPEG, and we also have another PowerPoint file in here. The easiest thing that I can tell you to do, especially if you're on campus, you need to do this, or if you're at home, it works too, just fine, is to left click and to pick up that picture and to take it over to the desktop. Just drag it over. If you see a line in between that's not going to work, that black line, see how that black line is coming up, you can also see that it says cannot place in favorites. Here we're right on top of desktop, just put it right in there. Now it's copied to the desktop. You also want to do the same thing with this PowerPoint presentation. Left click, hold it down, and move it over to the desktop. Now we've got those 2 resources, and I'm just going to minimize, saved to the desktop. Again, that's critical. You have to do that before you can actually start the file. And I'll show you why in just a few minutes. Go ahead and click on Office versions and let's start the file. Oh, before I forget, 2016 Microsoft Office programs are out. It doesn't matter if you've got 16 or 13. You'll be able to upload our file at the tail end, and it will be able to grade whether it's 13 or 16. Okay, first thing you're going to want to do once you're here is to enable. And let me get out of that. Sorry about that. And then we're going to want to save. So let's take a look at the instructions. The instructions read, be sure to download the resource files as needed for this project from the resource link. Make sure to extract the files after downloading the resources zip folder. Please visit the SimNet Instant Help for step-by-step instructions. You can do that if you would like. There are best practices as well, and I would encourage you to do those. Open and rename a presentation. So The first thing you want to do is open that email results all one start file. If the presentation opens in protected view, click the enable button, and we've done that in the message bar at the top. The file will be renamed automatically. Yours will have your name. This is my name. Because I've opened this a couple times, it's got the 2 in parentheses. I am going to change mine. Leave yours alone if you don't have that. You really just want your name hyphen the name of the file hyphen the O1, which refers to chapter 1. There are a couple of ways to skin a cat when you're dealing with Microsoft Office programs. I love that about Bill Gates. The fastest way to save is going to be F12. A slower way will be to go to File, and it's acting weird on us, File, and then Backstage View, and then do a Save As. But in this case, let's continue to follow the instructions. So in 1B, it's telling us to push F12, and that takes us right to the Saved As. Now, I will tell you that I like being organized. So when I go into my file, you will see that I have created an ADMS file folder, 141, and I am going to save this as my name and then that. And actually, let's do this. Let's just set up, we'll say homework. Okay, and then we'll go right in here and we can actually say chapter 1. All right, so we are in chapter 1, and I'm just going to save that as chapter 1. All right, let's take a look at number 2. On slide 2, we are going to change the bullets to emphasize them more. So here is slide 2. By the way, this is your left-hand navigation pane. And just by simply clicking on these will get you to the different slides. So we're going to select the text. I work backwards. It's how my brain works. You can select all of the text from the left to the right, or you can select right to left. And once you've selected those, you're going to click on the bullets list arrow tab, and that is in the home tab paragraph group, and select the bullets and numbering. The first thing we're going to do is click the color button and select brown text 2, brown accent 3, and let's go backwards. It's brown text 2. And you can kind of scroll through and see different things, but we want the brown text 2. And we're going to change the size to 80%. The fastest way to do it is just to type in the 80. Click the custom button and change the font to Wingdings if necessary. And for those that have 2016, you're going to choose the Latin 1 supplement subset. I'm using 2013, so I'm going to go down to Wingdings 2. And it's telling us to select the bold X. I'm sure there's a ton of bold X's in there. So the fastest way to do it is to come down to your character code, and remember this as you're taking the final test as well. They will tell you what the character code is, and they're telling us this also in 2G. It's 211, so just type that in there. And then just say OK. And then here, we're also going to say OK. Now we're going to reuse slides from another presentation. So this is why it's important to always get those resource files downloaded first. So in 3A it says to click the new slide list arrow and select reuse slides. So new slides, reuse slides, and on the reuse slides pane you are going to click your browse and then select browse file and locate the resource folder that you downloaded from the resource link. I just happened to, and hopefully you were listening, you also saved on your desktop. So we want to extract the email and content 01 file. So just click open. After you've clicked on it, you can click open. And notice that there's 4 new slides on the left-hand navigation pane. On the reuse slides pane, click all 4 slides to insert them. And then close the reuse slides pane. On the slides tab, we're going to rearrange the 6 slides in this order. Getting results with email. Ask these questions. Y needs to be moved up. Next, you can just left click it and hold it and move it. Write a meaningful subject line. Again, left click, hold, and move. Organize it, and then keep it short. You'll notice that on some of these slides there's misspellings. So let's correct that now. So go up into the spelling and into the review tab in the proofreading section, and let's click on the spelling button so that we can correct each error. Note, this is important, it says click ignore to skip spelling on slide 1 for the word email. So receive, let's change that, careless, organized, capture, response, separate, and now email, just click ignore because we don't want to change that. And now it's complete. On slide 2, select the body placeholder. Now that's important. We're not selecting text. The body placeholder is the placeholder that's containing the text. Now you see that there's a dotted line, so it's not selected. If you click on it, the line becomes solid. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our format paintbrush to format the rest of the bullet to text to match slide 2. So go ahead and select that body placeholder. Because we have other slides to format, we are going to double click the paint holder or the paint formatter. Here's the catch. You need to use your down page or page down to go down, because if you don't and you use your mouse, it's going to turn off the paint format painter. So double click it, page down, and notice how we are changing the other bullets as we go. And you're going to click the last, press down and click the list on slide 3 and apply to the first level. Repeat for slides 4 and 5. And then press escape when you're done. On slide 3, move the picture down so it does not overlap the listed text. So you're going to click on it and see how you can tell that it's selected. We have those small radio buttons there. Just pick it up and move it down. On slide 6, use a different picture and adjust the text position. So delete the picture on the right and click the Insert tab. Then click the Pictures button and locate the resource folder that we downloaded from the resource link. So Desktop is where I put mine, and I have to say All Files. And our picture was at symbol -01. So go ahead and click Insert. And in 8E, it's telling us to adjust the size of the title and the subtitle placeholder to fit the text. Then position them both on the gold shape. So I'm just going to pick up this picture and move it over to the left. And you see there's one radio button there, so I'm going to slide that in just a little bit, just behind the gold here, so that it's even with that. And then I'm going to grab this placeholder. This is the title slide, and I'm going to shorten it just a little bit. And then drag it over. Now you're able to see the new picture that we downloaded and the title slide. Number 9 says to apply one transition to all slides. So click the Slide Sorter button, which is down in the status bar. This is your status bar, and this is the Slide Sorter. We are going to press Control A to select all of the slides. None are selected, and when I press Control A, they all turn red. And they're all selected. Select the Transition tab, and then click the Switch Transition from the gallery. So you will have to click the More button, and these are not in any kind of order. This is subtle, exiting, and dynamic. We are going to be looking at the exiting ones, and switch is located within that. Now, the next thing we're going to do for number 10 is change the movement. Did you see how they moved from right to left? Now we're going to go ahead with the slide selected, click the Effects option, and we are going to select left. And now let's reverse them. So in 11 it says to preview the presentation, click the preview, which is still within the Transition tab, to examine it, to see how it looks. And we just watched it, but they want you to notice and play with these buttons and see where they're at. Click off of any slide to remove the selection, and then click the slideshow. So we're going to watch it one more time. So slideshow is located down in the status bar as well. And let's try that again. To be on slide 1 to do that. Nice and easy. Okay, we're just about done. We're going to change some of the presentation properties. Click the File tab. In the Info button, and you're already there, click the Properties button, then click Document Panel. And we're going to type the following information, or Show Document Panel. This is important for those that have 2016. You will click the Show All Properties. And let me go back. The Show All Properties is down at the bottom. For 2013 users, we will just click Show Document Panel. You will type in your author name. That's your name. Your title. The subject, And hopefully you're looking also at the instructions as I'm doing this. Comments, it says to type this presentation is for the new hire seminar. Make sure that everything you've done is actually spelled right because it will count off in SEMnet. To save this, all you have to do is just click the close button to close it, and it's the small X, not the one at the top, but the smaller one where we're at for the document properties. And note that PowerPoint 2016 users should probably click the back arrow of the Backstage view to return to the presentation. So there are some differences you will notice. So now set the slides to print as a handout. So to do that, you will go to the File tab, then the Print button on the left, select the appropriate printer, which I don't need to because it defaults. Change the following settings. And by the way, we're not printing anyway, but we are going to change how it prints. So change the following settings by clicking the button list arrow for each option. So print all slides. That's what we would like to do, and it's already selected, so print all slides. We want to print 6 horizontal, and we also want to frame slides and scale to fit. So make sure that you select the 6 slides horizontal and not vertical. And you will notice that it defaulted to frame slides and scale to fit. Next, you want to collate, and it's already set to that. And we want portrait orientation, and we want it to be in grayscale. Although I have color, so I could pick color, but for this purpose we want grayscale. Click the back arrow of the Backstage view to return to the presentation. Important, you should have 6 slides when you're finished with this project. If it does not, your project will not grade properly and you may lose a significant number of points. All you have to do now is just save and close the presentation. I am going to just say close, but I'm also going to say save. And then I'm going to exit out of this. Now we're ready to upload and save our project. So upload my file. We're going to go to Documents. Do you remember where you saved yours at? I've created a homework file, Chapter 1 file, and then the homework. Just click Open. It does take a moment or two to upload. No, I'm not ready. Yes, I'm ready. And I got 100. And so we're all set. Okay. You will notice that if you did get something wrong, it will tell you here what the partial half wrong or the full answer was wrong. You were able to click on these to look to see what you got wrong. It will actually tell you. And you're just able to go right through those and take a look. So we are done with this guided. Notice that again, I've got 2 of my attempts completed. You won't have this. This is in Teacher View, but you will see those. Go ahead now and try your independence on your own. This is Independent 1.5. There are resource files, so you will want to download those first, then download your instructions and start the file. Good luck, and remember to use the Ask My Instructor tab should you need extra help.